Hey guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Thursday, the 20th of May 2021. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use my deck of cards for today's reading, the Gregory Scott Tarot. Let's see what these cards have to say about Thursday and what energy is coming up for you. And I just kind of feel the need to ground myself a little bit and to connect with the cards. So let's see what these cards have to say. And I don't usually shuffle them like this, but I want to kind of touch them as much as I possibly can, which is weird. Let's see. I'm going to choose 3 cards and let's see what they have to say about this day. So maybe it's the first thing, just before I even look at the cards, is that there's a need to be grounded and to focus and to keep things simple. Let's see. First, we've got the 5 of Swords. Okay. The 10 of Pentacles and the Star. Okay, that's a complicated message. The 5 of Swords is about humiliation and really serious conflict and putting someone else down because you feel you're special or superior and entitled to condescend. The 10 of Pentacles is about this illusion of the happy family, of perfection, of financial security and getting everything that you ever wanted. The 10 of Pentacles is the highest card in the suit of Pentacles, and it represents security and getting to a happy place when it comes to your finances and belongings and anything that has to do with the element of earth. So it can be family and the sense of security. And I wanted it to be represented as a picture because we are trained to kind of believe in this and to strive for it our whole lives. And then often when you get certain things, like my dream is to be a CEO and to have a boat and to have 8 children and to be the patriarch of some family. And then you get there and you have all this stuff and you're like, I didn't want any of this. Wah, wah. I was just taught that this is the ideal picture of what life is all about. Now that I've achieved it and worked at it for 60 years, I realized that that wasn't for me at all. And I don't know about you, but it is such a disappointment and such an anticlimax when you work really hard towards achieving something and then you get it. And it's like, I never even wanted this. It's the worst, most empty feeling ever. So that's what I wanted this card to kind of represent. And then the Star is the opposite of that. It's about getting really real with yourself and letting go of all the negative so that you can become the person you've always wanted to be. So let's see what this is. So first of all, don't buy into the illusion that you have to put other people down to elevate yourself. And that may sound really straightforward and reasonable. And it's like, well, I'm not a bully. Of course I don't do that. But again, in business, in a lot of kind of corporate jobs, you're encouraged to kind of compete against your peers and to say, oh, look, here's the leaderboard, guys. All you 5 employees who were paying minimum wage, let's pit you all against one another so that this big company, which is making all the money and you're getting a pittance, let's do that so that you guys argue and sell your little behinds off and make this big business lots of money. And it's a really cynical kind of approach that a lot of businesses and a lot of things in the real world take, because there's this thought that there isn't enough for everybody. Abundance is something that only the tough get. I mean, you know the story, right? I don't have to go into that very much. It's like this whole thing about competition and looking out for number one and being ruthless. If you want to live your life that way, that's your choice. In my experience, I've never been able to do that because on an intuitive kind of level, it just never sat right with me. And I never felt like I am desperate enough to kind of put other people down to create my own security, even though we are brainwashed into thinking it. And that's another theme. And I'm sorry I'm going from topic to topic, but watch out for your own brainwashing today. What is the world telling you and what do you just blindly accept? You have the ability to detox from that and to redesign your life in a beautiful, colorful way, the way you want it to be. So pay attention to this, especially this covert kind of brainwashing and these subtle messages that you receive from your environment and your culture and your family and the place you live, all of these things do have an influence on you. The Five of Swords, you can see that this isn't a happy scene. And the thing about competing and pitting yourself against other people and being the winner, it always comes back to you. You know, he is down in the dumps here and he's having wine poured on his head. He's going to go away from this and he's going to say, do you know what? I'm going to get him back. And sooner or later, he will have a nasty surprise because this guy is either going to retaliate or he's going to talk to some of his friends and say, do you know what? This king humiliated me 5 years ago. I still remember, and I'm not going to let that. That is not the end of the story. Let's get him back. So with the Five of Swords, you have the freedom. 5 in numerology is about freedom, and swords is about thinking in your perspective. You have the freedom to think for yourself. You don't need to behave a certain way. I remember, again, I worked in this business like a decade ago, and my boss, who I always trash on this channel, I'm not going to say her name today, you guys probably know it off by heart at this point, but she said something like, we care about our customers because we want their business. And I thought that was appalling. I thought that was just the worst. It's like, you pretend to care because you want their money? And I didn't like that at all. And I kind of, when she said it, it was like in a group setting and she said it to all of us. And I don't have much of a poker face and I must have had some sort of disgusted expression on my face. But then what happened the next time, she repeated that same sentiment and she's like, okay, guys, we care about our customers, don't we? Because we want their what? And she left it open and she said, Greg, what is it that we want from them? Because she remembered that I'd made a face and I didn't agree with it. And to my shame and horror, I wasn't thinking and I let myself be brainwashed into saying, we want their business. So the real crime, as far as I'm concerned, is that she took something which I initially was appalled by and she roped me into it and kind of made me a co-conspirator of her horrible worldview. And I really resent that to this day because she made me say something deliberately which she knew went against my own values and beliefs. And that was for me the breaking point. And you see, like if you're an employer or if you work with other people, for some people that may be nothing or a little thing. To me, that was the straw that broke the camel's back on that job. I was like, if I'm going to be turned into some sort of monster that I don't want to be, and I'm exaggerating, if I'm going to be turned into some sort of person that I really don't want to become just by working this minimum wage job, then I really need to get my act together and find something better because this is ludicrous. Okay, so you have the freedom to think for yourself and to act on your own beliefs and values, and you don't need to bow down to anybody and you don't need to bully anybody to make yourself feel a certain way. You really don't. All of this stuff, the promises and the brainwashing, you accept it because it promises something. It says if you align yourself with our way of thinking and if you pursue these things which we as a society tell you to do, a doorway is going to open up and you too can be happy. So do all these things that you don't want to do. The means do justify the other way around. The ends do justify the means. They don't. You'll hate yourself if you act against your own belief system, I promise you. That was such a little thing, like more than a decade ago, and I still remember it, and I still cringe, and I still regret the fact that I opened my mouth. So please don't buy into these illusions that other people kind of try and dupe you with. Don't let the wool be pulled over your eyes. You have a great ability to see this for what it is, to abstract it for yourself and to say, hey, this is just a load of nonsense. I'm not buying into this. No, thank you. Talk to the hand. I'm not that desperate. Thank you very much. And the star, it's that awareness, first of all, which is liberating, because as soon as you see that something is a joke, then it stops having power over you. Once you see how ridiculous something is that you've bought into in the past, it doesn't control you anymore. That in itself is freedom, and that's the star, to really rise from the water here and to become the person you want to be. But also, once you have recognized it, then you can make a decision and say, I'm going to leave this behind. I'm going to change my life and I'm going to act differently. I'm going to align myself with my authentic self, my true values, my beliefs. And the universe loves me. I'm a star. I'm a special individual. The universe, God, the creator, whatever, didn't put me on this planet, so I have to listen to small-minded people who are going to try and bully me into behaving in certain ways, which harm other people. I'm not going down that road. I'm not doing it. You can refuse, and you can remember who you are, and that the universe has created you with these morals, and if you stick with them, you will be taken care of. Okay, that's the promise of this day and this card. You have your beliefs for a reason. And when you stick to them and when you don't let yourself be turned into some nasty little paper pusher or dishonest little salesperson or whatever it is that you don't like, if you refuse to become that person that other people want you to be, you will find another way. And I'm really passionate about this because I've got a bit of experience with this. No matter how abstract your way is or how unlikely it seems or how difficult, stick with it, please. I promise you, you will be so much more proud of yourself by doing it your way than being turned into something you're not. Okay, number-wise, we've got 17 and 10 is 27, and 5 is 32, and 3 and 2 is 5. That's freedom. You have the freedom to become whoever you want to be. And I know that sounds lofty, and it really isn't. It's doable. It's practical. It's concrete guidance. You can be the best version of yourself that you already have in your mind's eye, or that you may not be certain about. You know, not all of us have a 5-year plan. Some of us just know, hey, this does not work for me and I don't like it, okay? So I'm just going to say no, even though I don't have a better plan in mind. And sometimes that is more than enough. I don't know what the outcome is yet, but I know it's not this. Bye. And that's really important to do that. Wow. It's like a detox in itself, this reading. I am so grateful to be doing this every day and to get to do these tarot readings because I love doing them. And do you think that for me, like some a German/British 40-year-old guy, that people are like, oh yeah, you should read tarot cards? No one said that to me. What they said is, get a real job and get a Mercedes so that people think you're important. Do that, try it. It's really liberating. Okay, guys, have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to order your reading with me. I use the tarot, astrology, numerology, and my intuition in my personal readings. To draw up your astrology chart, I just need your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. That gives me a snapshot of the sky at the moment you were born, and it shows me what your strengths and weaknesses are, what is aligned with your higher self, what is likely to work for you on planet Earth, how you can channel your skills and talents into something that actually works for you and that blesses other people. If you want to look at what's coming up in future, what's destined for you in love, romance, where to move to, when to invest, when to start a business, anything at all, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and share the video online. Have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.